Hello everyone, I would like to welcome you to the first maiden edition of Final Reflections with Murakiyo. I'm your host for today, Murakiyo Dada, and you might be wondering what's Final Reflection all about. Well, Final Reflection is going to be a talk show where we will be analyzing and trashing out issues that are affecting our everyday lives, affecting our society, affecting our nation, and affecting the global community at large. For our first maiden edition, we'll be talking about gender equality. Now, I know gender equality has so many meanings to so many different people, but if you ask me, gender equality is about male and female in the society receiving equal rights and equal treatment. But I won't want you to take my word for it. Now, I'm going to draw out a definition from Wikipedia Online, which states that gender equality or sexual equality is the view that everyone should receive equal treatment and not be discriminated against based on their gender. Now, in practice, the objective of gender equality is for people to acquire, if they so choose, equal treatment throughout a society, not just in politics, not just in the workplace or any policy designated area. Now, before we go further into the topic, I want us to ask ourselves, how many types of gender do you know? For me, I only know about male, female. Can we add hermaphrodite? No, scratch that.
They say truth is stranger than fiction. Here's proof. According to the New York City Commission on Human Rights, there are more than 2 genders. How many genders do you think there are, folks? 4, 5, 10? Try 31 on for size. Yes, 31 genders. And you...
Wow, 31 genders. Can you imagine? In the state of New York, they actually recognize 31 genders. And, from the document I found online, you can actually not discriminate against people who register and claim to, be under those genders. So, in order to avoid any complication, for this episode, we would only be talking about the male and the female gender. Gender equality is achieved when women and men enjoy the same rights and opportunities across all sectors of the society, and when different behaviors, aspirations, and needs of women and men are equally valued and equally favored. The European Union Statistical Office, that's the Eurostat, they publish an overview annually of the gender statistics of the European Union from various fields such as education, labor markets, earnings, and the health. And the infograph actually helps to show an important difference between the situation of men and women in the European Union. Now take a look at the infograph here. We're going to narrow down to the gender gap in tertiary education attainment. Now we'll be focusing on the age brackets between 30 to 34. You'll find out that 43% of women actually complete their tertiary educations compared to 34% of men. Now, if we go down the infograph a bit, we'll be able to find out that 70% of men are actually gainfully employed compared to 60% of women within that same age bracket. So, what does that tell us? That means that there is a big gap between men and women getting jobs after actually going to school. So, there are a lot of women that have actually completed their tertiary education but are unable to get jobs, probably because more jobs are being given to the male folks in the society. If we can all remember, in March 2016, an earlier version of the Gender Equality Bill was proposed at the Senate, and the Senate actually threw out that bill, with the reasons being that it violates the Nigerian Constitution and our religious beliefs.
The sponsor of the bill, in her lead debate, pointed out what the bill intends to achieve if passed.
The bill further provides that all appropriate measures be taken to eliminate this discrimination against women in the political and public life, eliminate discrimination against women in education, eliminate discrimination against women in employment.
A lot of human rights activists, they cried out and they actually complained that the rejection of that bill in March 2016 actually means that we are going backwards in time, and it was a very sad period for Nigerian women. So it got me thinking, Why did the Senate throw out the gender equality?
But some lawmakers were against the bill, saying it breaches the Constitution.
For the bill to provide that a widow shall automatically become the guardian and custodian of her children is in conflict with the Nigerian Constitution, where she also says a widow shall have the right to an equitable share in the inheritance of property of her husband. This is also in conflict with the Nigerian Constitution.
Bill. So I did a little bit of digging into the bill, and I noticed that it contained a lot of critical issues. For example, there were issues like elimination of discrimination in political and public life, elimination of discrimination on grounds of marital status, also rights in matters relating to marriage and family relations, and most importantly, prohibition of violence against women. So, when I ran through the bill, I was like, okay, this bill sounds quite good. So what exactly is happening here? I was really a bit confused about it.
It was then time to decide the fate of the bill.
Those in favor that the bill be read the second time say aye. Those against say nay. The nays have it.
And just like that, the life of the bill ended.
Let's fast forward to 6 months after the gender equality bill was thrown out of the Senate. A modified version of the bill finally scaled through second reading on the Senate floor. That was 29 September 2016. Now, the second bill seeks to address the discrimination against women and to protect them against violence and sexual abuse. Now, according to a report from BBC Africa, the Sultan of Sokoto, His Royal Highness Mohammed Said Abubakar, rejected the new gender equality bill. He mentioned that Muslims do not accept the violation of the Islamic law guaranteeing men a greater share in inheritance when compared to women. Now, the Sultan was quoted to have said, "Our religion is our total way of life. Therefore, we will not accept any move to change what Allah has permitted us to do." So for some of you out there that do not know what the bill actually entails, let me actually give you a quick rundown. The bill seeks equal inheritance for men and women. That is, there will be no discrimination against the female child when it comes to sharing of the family inheritance. Also, it ensures that the widow has custody of the children unless such a measure conflicts with the interest and well-being of the children. The bill also furthermore provides that a widow can choose to remarry or live at the home of her late husband and is also entitled to a fair share of the husband's property. So I stumbled on an article on Sahara Reporters by Leo Igwe, and he posed some serious questions to the Sultan. Now, I'm going to read some of the questions he actually, asked in his article. So the first was, he asked, did Allah permit discrimination against women and the female child in Islam? Can a spirit determine what human beings do? He also asked the Sultan to stop using the name of Allah to sanction gender inequality and injustice. Another question he asked the Sultan was, is the Sultan actually afraid of gender equality? And what does it stand to gain if women and men are treated equally in all areas of human endeavor? Now, another important question he asked was, how does discrimination against women dignify the Sultan and dignify Islam? These questions are actually making me feel hot. I don't know if you guys are feeling the heat over there. Now, Senator Ahmed Rufai Sani Yerima, representing the Zamfara West Senatorial District, had this to say about the issue.
I raised an objection because it was against my own religion. First of all, I'm a Muslim. And not only that, Senator Bacha said it's also against Christianity. You see, in Islam, we have Sharia law. And this Sharia law is contained in Nigerian Constitution, approved by the Constitution. The Constitution has 3 judicial systems, system of justice. One, we have common law. This common law is for Christian. And we have Sharia law for the Muslims. And we have customary law for those who do not believe in Islam and Christianity. And every provision in this Constitution is very, very clear. For example, the bill is requesting that man and woman should have equal treatment in terms of inheritance. But in Islam, a man has 2 shares and a woman has 1 share. All we are saying is that any law that contradicts the provision of the Constitution is null and void. So why do you pass a law that you have seen clearly in contradiction with the Nigerian Constitution?
So from my understanding of the old Buhari, the Sultan has some problems with some parts of the bill, but not with the bill in totality. Now, his bone of contention is that the bill stated that there should be equal inheritance for men and women within the family. Now, according to the BBC report, the Sultan said that that part of the bill actually violates the way of life of Muslims, because according to the Quran, there is already a sharing pattern for inheritance within the family.